For this video's tips and tricks segment, we're going to be talking about archery. Archery is assigned at the beginning of the combat phase. There is no action window once the combat phase starts, and archery needs to be assigned. Archery is assigned all at once, so if you have two enemies, you add their archery value together and assign it all at once. You cannot over-assign archery. So if you have a Snowborn Scout, our favorite pincushion, he only can take 1 point of archery. You cannot assign all 5 to him. If you have Spirit Frodo, for example, you can only assign 2 points of archery to him to be canceled by his Raise Your Threat to Cancel Damage effect. You must assign all the archery, and then if a character is destroyed by archery, it is discarded. So if you have 2 Sylvan Refugees out, you could actually deal 1 point of archery to each of them, and then discard both at the same time. You don't assign the archery, assess if the character died, assign the next point of archery. You assign it all at once simultaneously. This quest that we're about to play has archery aplenty, so let's get ready to dodge some arrows in the forest. Alright, the Druadan Forest. This is an interesting one. So we start out with the pursuit. We're going to find Bury Drew and set him aside, and then we're going to give the encounter deck a shuffle. And then 1B, we're going to reveal a card per player and add them to the staging area. 11 quest points needed. Bury Drew, there he is. He's off to the side. Yeah, this is a pretty thin encounter deck, and it is loaded with archery. So to play this quest, you better bring some healing. This is definitely a quest, if you've never played it before, you sit down to play it, and you're like, holy crap, did I not bring the right deck? So I am bringing Elrond, but I am focusing on his second ability. After a character is healed by another card effect, heal 1 damage on it. So he's doing double healing duty, and that is going to be extremely helpful. And because he's in the deck, yes, I am running Vilya. It's just crazy to run Elrond and not run Vilya. But he's primarily here for the healing, the double healing. I'm also going to run a power deck. So it's Spirit Glorfindel, 5 threat, questing for 3. If he has to exhaust a quest, I'm raising my threat by 1. But I need to bring the power. This quest can easily beat you, and it is not for the faint of heart. So I'm hoping to not have to use Elrond and Glorfindel in a lot of future videos, but I am using them for this one. And then to round it off, we have Denethor, another lore hero, and he's going to be my defender. And if I don't have to defend with him, I'm going to peek at the top card of the encounter deck and see if I can put it underneath the encounter deck if I need to. There is 1 treachery, Leaves on Trees, that I am really scared of. It basically is going to make me discard all my attachments, and that could be a game ender if it hits me at the right time. Alright, custom tracker being used, so threat on the bottom, resources across the top. And yeah, so let's take a look at a loss. So here we go. I like showing a loss so you guys don't think I win all the time. I definitely don't. So at the beginning of the game, I revealed a Wose enemy that gets +1 archery for every hero without a resource in his resource pool. Of course, that stinks because you don't want to just leave resources in your hero's resource pool. They will get prowled away, which is a keyword in this quest, where when you reveal an enemy with the prowl keyword, they will take your resources from you. So I've already had to deal with 6 archery because then I revealed a second Wose enemy that gets +1 archery for each hero without a resource. I was able to get a trap on that one. So anyway, I've already taken 6 archery damage, and I'm currently being attacked by an enemy that attacks for 4. I'm going to die because of archery. So I'm going to blind Vilya, and yeah, I don't get a warden. So I died there because I got shot with arrows. And that is how you can lose on this quest. Even if you're handling defense, you need to have healing. Otherwise, the arrows are just going to overwhelm you, and you're going to die from that. Alright, let's take a look at my opening hand. Alright, the first card, Protector of Lorien, so I can discard up to 3 cards, and for that phase, the attached hero can get +1 defense or +1 willpower per card. Hey, Light of Valinor, so I attach that to a Noldor or Sylvan hero, and they do not exhaust to commit to the quest. Burning Brand, we've seen this one before. You get to cancel a shadow card, and it only can be attached to a lore character. Hey, there's Stargazer, so exhaust her, look at my top 5 cards, and rearrange them. Love that card. Love that art. Love everything about it. A trap. All right, Ranger Spikes. So we play it into the staging area. Then the next enemy that can have attachments gets attached to it and gets -2 threat and does not make engagement checks. So it can just stay up there. And then finally, Mithrandir's Advice. So draw 1 card for every lore hero you control. All right. That's a really good starting hand. I don't have Vilya, but like I said, I am not basing this deck around having Vilya. It's based around healing. Of course, I also didn't draw any healing, but I'm anticipating getting some healing cards in play. There's a lot of them. Okay, we gotta have a card revealed at the start of the game, and we get Stars in the Sky. So it has Prowl 2, which means I have to discard 2 resources from heroes I control. I don't have any resources yet, so that was fine. The when revealed effect only has to do with questing, so I'm not questing right now, so that actually whiffs. So that's a great card to reveal right now. It did nothing. Alrighty, looking at my hand after I draw my card, what do I get? Oh, there we go. Okay, Master of the Forge. So exhaust him, search your top 5 for an attachment, and then add that attachment to your hand. Alright, so of course what I'm going to do is play Light of Valinor on Glorfindel, and then I'll spend my 2 lore resources for the Master of the Forge. Master of the Forge is going to let me search. And my strategy is... Hey, Vilya. There we go. My strategy is spend all my money. Every round, I'm hoping to spend every resource in the planning phase, so then when I reveal a card with Prowl, I don't need to discard the resources. Because Prowl is very simply, whatever the X value is after Prowl, you have to basically let the Wose enemy steal that much resources. And there we go. Surge, Prowl 1. So if I had had a resource, he would have taken it from me. And then that surges into a 2 threat. So I added 4 threat, so I make 2 progress. I have to spend a resource to travel to the location, so I will not be traveling anywhere. I will engage this enemy. He's not very tough. He's more annoying because he has Prowl and Surge. I will defend. There is no shadow. Thank you very much. I take no damage, and then Glorfindel is still ready, and he can attack for 3 and kill that guy. So that is round 1. That is a very good round 1. I like that a lot. Okay, Daron's Runes. Great. Card draw. Let's see if the Master of the Forge can find anything in my top 5. And nope, no attachments, so we're just going to shuffle all those cards right back in. I still don't have any healing, but I also don't have anything that's given me archery right now. So I'm okay not having healing on the table. I know eventually I'm going to need it. But right now, let's just try to build up my board state. I think I will put in the Stargazer. She costs 2, and Elrond can pay for allies of any sphere. I'm going to exhaust her and look at my top 5 after I just shuffled, and now I can arrange them however I want. Looking at my top 5, okay, so I do have a way to shuffle in my discard pile. There's some healing. I also have the Sylvan Tracker. While the Sylvan Tracker's in play, all Sylvans heal 1 damage when they're ready. So that's super good for this quest. That's how I decided to organize my hand. I'm going to, not my hand, sorry, my deck. All right, so now I'm going to play Daron's Runes after I organized the top 5 cards. And so I drew Arwen, and then I'm going to discard that extra Burning Brand. Denethor is going to try to hold on to a resource here. So Elrond is 3, Glorfindel is 3, 6 against 2, and we get, when revealed, each hero must pay 1 resource or take 1 damage. If no hero takes damage from this effect, it gains Surge. And the wording of that card can be a little confusing. You must spend the resource if you can. If you cannot spend the resource, you take the damage. So I do lose Denethor's resource. And that means I once again cannot travel, so we just end the round here and go into the 3rd turn. So I'm going to ready everybody, draw my card. I knew it was Will of the West. That lets you shuffle in your discard pile. With so much card draw, it is very possible I will go through my entire deck. Okay, Vilya's going to come into play, so that costs 2 resources of any sphere. And I wanted to play Vilya because I know what my next card is, so I'm going to exhaust Vilya and Elrond, and we do get the Sylvan Tracker in play. So after a Sylvan character readies during the refresh phase, heal 1 damage from that character. So fantastic ally for this quest. It has 3 hit points, so it can take 2 archery every round, and then it automatically heals both because Elrond doubles that healing effect. All right, Master of the Forge found me Asphaleth. That helps me clear locations, so that's good. Now I don't need to travel to that location. I can use Asphaleth to clear it. And then this is basically how every turn's going to go. After I use Master of the Forge, I can then use Stargazer to rearrange the next 5 cards I see. that lets me continuously look at 5 different cards and make sure I can draw the one I want and Vilya the one I want. So this is a very powerful deck, very top tier. All right, looking at my hand, I am going to play this Protector of Lorien, and then I decide to put it on Glorfindel. Yeah, no. Let's see. Denethor. They boost willpower and defense, so it's kind of like, do I want more willpower or do I want more defense? I decide to put it on Denethor, so Denethor will be able to boost his defense. All right, sending 4 to the quest, and we get a 0-threat Wose enemy that says every Wose enemy in the staging area gets +2 threat. So I make no progress, 4 against 4. We're going to engage this guy. Denethor is going to defend. The shadow is remove X progress from the quest, where X is that enemy's threat. Well, he only has threat if he's in the staging area, because he says every Wose enemy gets +2 threat in the staging area. He's not in the staging area, so that's nice. And then Glorfindel will attack and deal 1 damage to him. Then I'm going to use the Stargazer to look at my top 5 cards and do some rearranging. Alrighty, so there is my Ziggy. There's a great target for Vilya, 4-cost ally. Ziggy's going to let me get money, which is great. So I'll be able to exhaust him and generate resources. So it's just a matter of you look at your 5 cards and you're just trying to plan out exactly how you want to pull off your next turn. It's kind of fun. I really like doing that. I like Stargazer for that reason. You can really make a turn do some amazing things with the cards all being in the correct order like this. Alrighty, so at the start of the turn, I'm going to draw a card, and what do you know? It's Ziggy! Shocker. Alright, so once again, I will Vilya in the next card, which was Faramir, so there's some willpower boosting for me. And I know I have at least 1 attachment in my top 5 cards, so let's use Master of the Forge. And, yeah, okay, look, another Protector of Lorien. We knew that was coming. And then the Burning Brand was another target. So now I have the Protector of Lorien to put on a character that I want to give more willpower to. Alright, so after I give this deck a shuffle, I'm going to use Stargazer. We're going to look at the top 5 cards, and I'm going to try to put 2 cards that cost the same on top of my deck. Great, okay, this is perfect. So another Master of the Forge, another Stargazer. I don't really want to put either of those into play, so I'm going to rearrange the next 3 cards after those 2. So I arrange it like that. And then here's the plan. So you spend 2 resources. Elrond has a Spirit Sphere, and he can pay for any ally, no matter the sphere. We're going to put in the Ziggy. This card has had an errata, so what it should say is exhaust the Sigil Miner and name a number. Discard the top 2 cards of your deck. For every card discarded that has a cost equal to the number you named, add a resource to a hero's resource pool. So in this case, I named 2. They both cost 2. I will choose Elrond, and he will gain 2 resources. So that's how I'm going to gain extra resources every round. And then I'm going to use Asphaleth. So Asphaleth's going to come into play. So I'm going to put him on Glorfindel. Actually, I don't know. Is Asphaleth a male or a female horse? I don't know. Anyway, exhaust Asphaleth to place 2 progress on a location. So if it's attached to Glorfindel, 1 if attached to a different hero. And then finally, Protector of Lorien will be going on Elrond. And now we're going to commit to the quest. So Glorfindel, of course, is committing for 3, and then I will also send the tracker. And I really should have just sent Faramir. I was planning on boosting these 2 guys because of this treachery, so I should have just sent Faramir. That was a mistake. Each player removes 1 character from the quest, and then if you control no characters, everybody has to remove characters from the quest. But basically, I was only going to be able to boost it by 2. I only sent 2 characters on the quest. So I should have just sent Faramir, because now he's only boosting 1 character. So that was a mistake. If Faramir's only going to boost 2 people, just send him on the quest, especially if there's no treacheries that could damage him. So anyway, I make a couple progress there. I'm getting attacked again. Denethor is going to defend. It's that same shadow. It's the one that would have made me remove progress. But now Glorfindel can swing in and kill this guy. So he's dead. We're going to go into the next round, and the whole thing repeats itself. Okay, this is a mistake. That card I drew should have been this card. Exhaust the tracker. The next enemy doesn't add its threat. I grabbed the wrong card from my collection. That was the wrong tracker. Doesn't matter because he never enters play. Okay, so once again, I'm rearranging my deck. I want to put 2 cards that cost the same next to each other. I want to have a target for Vilya. So I decide to arrange my deck like this. I'm going to play Mithrandir's Advice, which costs 1 lore resource. I have 2 lore heroes, so I draw 2 cards. And I draw those 2 Sylvans. I'm going to name the number 2 and exhaust Ziggy. These each cost 2, so I gain 2 resources on a hero of my choice. I will choose Elrond. And then I'm going to put in Henemarth Riversong. He costs 1 lore resource. And now I'll be able to peek at the top card of the deck, and I know exactly what I'm going to be up against, and it's just a 3-threat location. So this is going to be a very easy turn. Asfaloth will clear that location that I've never been able to travel to. I'm only going to be up against 3-threat, so this is definitely going to be a willpower turn. So let's see. What else can I do? Elrond and Vilya are going to get me the Smirkwood Runner. When he attacks alone, the defending enemy does not count its defense. That's great because there's an enemy that is a 2/2, 2 defense and 2 hit points. I just killed it last round, so he can kill those very easily. Board state's starting to get pretty full. All right, I still have lots of resources, so I might as well spend them. We're going to put Arwen into play, so when she exhausts, she will boost someone's defense. That's nice. And then making sure I'm keeping everything in focus, I'm going to do one last thing. Master of the Forge. Let's see what we get. And we do get an attachment. It's Vilya, so I'll add that to my hand. And you can see how fast I'm going through my deck, especially discarding cards to Ziggy. All right, so like I said, committed a bunch of people to the quest. I revealed 3-threat, so I'm going to advance to the next stage. Nothing on side A. 2B says archery damage must be assigned to allies if possible, and it takes 17 progress. Last but not least, Denethor is going to take a peek at the top card. It's an enemy. I don't mind this guy. I can definitely handle him right now. So I'm going to keep him on top of the deck. Like I said, there is a treachery I'm super worried about. So basically, if it's any card except that treachery, that card's probably going to stay. All right, after this is all said and done, everyone's going to ready. And I'm going to raise my threat by 1. So these types of decks, of course, planning takes forever. So if you're playing multiplayer, and you're sitting across from somebody playing a Noldor, searching your top 5 type deck, go get a drink of water or something while the guy's doing his planning phase. It might be a while. All right, looking at my hand and knowing what's coming, I'm going to use Master of the Forge. He finds me a trap. I'm probably going to be playing one of those. And then I'm going to give the deck a shuffle. And then, like I said, it's just the same thing over and over. So exhaust Stargazer, look at my top 5, figure out which card I want to use Vilya for, figure out which 2 I want to exhaust Ziggy to get rid of, and that's how you just keep building your board state much faster than the encounter deck can. Hey, there's a Vilya target, a 5-cost ally. Yes, thank you very much. And then I have 2 cards that cost 3. I don't mind having the Ziggy get rid of both of those because I have that Will of the West, so I can just shuffle everything right back into my deck and get them into play later. So, yep, Vilya gets me Gildor Inglorian, just a huge, powerful ally. 3, I'm going to say, for Ziggy. I discard 2 cards that cost 3, so I will add 2 resources to Elrond. I have lots of money. I'm going to put this Burning Brand on Denethor, so now he can cancel a shadow effect. And then let's get a Warden of Healing in. Even though archery isn't a big deal, I might as well just get a little extra healing in play. I still have 2 resources, 1 spirit, so I will spend it on the Will of the West. Since the enemy that's coming has Prowl, I'm trying to spend the resources. But I can't spend them all, so I will lose 1 resource to that Prowl, but that's okay. So I shuffled in my discard pile into my deck. And then I'm going to reveal this enemy. He steals one of my resources. I'm going to have Faramir boost everybody that I sent on the quest. So now it's going to be 11 versus 2. 3 goes on the active location. It was immune, so I couldn't use Asfaloth. And the rest goes on the quest card itself, giving me 6 out of the 17. Let's engage this guy. I'm not worried at all. Denethor can burn away the shadow. And he has Protector of Lorien to boost his defense, even if he couldn't. Okay, I'm going to take the archery. It's archery 3. And it's 1 archery for every hero who does not have a resource. But those Sylvans, they just heal it at the end of the round. It's great. Denethor should not have taken a damage because Arwen boosted his defense by 1, but I wasn't worried about it because I knew I had that Warden to do the healing. And then I'm going to swing back with characters that are ready. Plenty of attack power. He's dead. And then, like I said, during the refresh phase, as a Sylvan character readies, the Sylvan tracker heals them. So he heals all that damage off because Elrond doubles it. And yeah, so how much damage did I heal that round? 5? So right now I can handle 5 damage a round easily. I can handle even more if I want to. Hey, okay, there's Unexpected Courage. I've been looking for that card. You know, it's just a 1 of in my deck because I'm only playing with 1 core. So let's rearrange my hand. I got that Mithrandir's Advice that'll let me draw 2. I keep my hand like it was, and we're just going to go into the next round. So everyone's going to get 1 resource, raise my threat, and I draw Mithrandir's Advice. Mithrandir's Advice, like I thought. And then I'm going to use Vilya. I'm going to get another Sylvan tracker in play. I'm going to say 2 with the Ziggy Minor, and what do you know? They both cost 2. Shocker, right? All right, Elrond gets 2 more resources. Master of the Forge is going to take a peek, and we know Unexpected Courage is there, so I'm going to grab that. That is fantastic. Now that can go on Elrond, so he can use Vilya and also use his stats every round. So probably the hardest part about playing the single core series is only having 1 copy of Unexpected Courage to use. So I will use that. I'll spend 1 of Glorfindel's resources and 1 of Elrond's resources to pay for that. Elrond has the Spirit Sphere thanks to Vilya. I will use Hennemarth Riversong to take a peek at the top card, and it's that same enemy. So I know how to handle him, so I'm not really worried about that. And because I know an enemy's coming out, I think I will put in the trap. So when he enters the staging area, he's going to get trapped. Let's play Mithrandir's Advice, draw 2 cards. I'm just trying to get more cards in my hand so I can discard them to the Protector of Loriens. Alrighty, Arwen's boosting Denethor. I'm sending a bunch of people on the quest. It's going to be against nothing because that trap is going to reduce his threat by 2. And I won't have to do an engagement check against it. And since I can handle archery no problem, he has archery 3 as long as my heroes have no resources. I don't mind leaving him in there. So I quest for exactly what I need to clear that stage. We're going to go to 3A. It says add Drewberry Drew to the staging area. 14 progress needed. And this is so confusing. So the passage out, we're basically trying to convince the Wose to let us go. So characters are going to use willpower instead of attack when attacking enemies, and if enemies would be damaged this way, you place progress tokens instead of damage tokens on them, and then when an enemy has progress tokens equal to the number of hit points, we're going to add that enemy to the victory display and then move the progress tokens to the quest. And oh, by the way, the quest is siege, so now I'm questing with my defense. So everything's crazy, so I'm going to leave this text at the top of the screen to help you guys remember what's happening. Alright, allies cannot defend against Drewberry Drew when he's in the victory display. All my characters get +1 willpower in defense. And I can't win unless Drewberry Drew is in the victory display. So yeah, now it's, even though they're shooting arrows at us and attacking us, we're just trying to use our willpower to try to win the scenario here. Alright, so we got some archery. It's archery 3. 1 for every hero without a resource, so I'm just going to put them on the trackers. And then, oh, there's the treachery that I hate. So the shadow also makes me discard an attachment, so I will trigger the Burning Brand, thank you Burning Brand, and burn away that shadow. And then we are going to take a damage. Again, I don't care about damage. I have a Warden of Healing. And let's swing back. So remember, we're swinging back with our willpower. So Protector of Lorien, discard cards to boost your willpower. So that means Elrond attacks for 6 and Glorfindel attacks for 3. That lets me place 6 progress tokens, and then I transfer those 6 progress to the quest. So I've already made 6 progress, and then next quest stage, I just need to quest for enough to quest out of here. And all of my characters now have +1 defense, and it is a siege quest. All my damage is going to be healed either by the Sylvan Tracker's Readying or the Warden of Healing, so I'm going to go into the next round with no damage. And yep, so I'm not even going to show you how I arranged my deck. I think you guys see how that works by now. So Stargazer is exhausted from peeking, and Vilya gets me in that Sylvan, and then Ziggy gets me more resources, and I'm going to draw 2 cards, and this is all really not important because I'm pretty sure I got this quest beat. So let's just finish this whole thing. So I'm going to put in another trap. I'm not even peeking. I feel that's safe. All right, here we go. I'm going to take a peek now. And yep, it's just remove a character from the quest. So I didn't really think there was a card that could beat me. So I did all my planning before I took a look to see. And I'm going to send Arwen and that guy. And I don't know, everybody just commits to the quest, whatever. It doesn't matter. I only need to make a few progress, and I'm up against nothing. So that's it. That is a victory. I made my 14 progress. Drewberry Drew is in the victory display. I survived the forest. I dodged arrows, and I made it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. This is a quest that you can definitely beat. You just need to bring healing. If you bring healing, it's not that bad. Spend your money in the planning phase and just bring the healing. You got this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.